Hello again, I'm Maynard Eaton with Newsmakers Live. We're getting ready to do another show, but before that, I'd like for you to meet somebody special. He's State Senator Leroy Johnson. He was Georgia's first black elected state senator. He was also the politician and the producer of Muhammad Ali's comeback fight in 1970. He was there at the Spice House when we interviewed him in Southwest Atlanta. We talked to him about Atlanta's upcoming mayoral election. No politics more than anybody else probably in this town. You've been the central part of Atlanta politics. What are your thoughts about where we are in the mayor's race now? Could we have seen perhaps the last black mayor in Atlanta?
That is possible, and it's unfortunate. We worked hard to get a black mayor and then to maintain that tradition. And we've had mayors that have been very good for the city of Atlanta who happens to be black. I know that Colonel Walden and other ministers are anxious to see that we maintain that legacy. And I think it's extremely important. I understand that everybody has a right to run for office if they wish. But somewhere you have to put the community first. It can't be my way or the highway. And Atlanta is so important. A city that's not only too busy to hate, but a city that's made such great progress. And if we let that pass because we are concerned about ourselves rather than the community, it would be a very sad day.
As you well know, sir, critics say we have too many good black candidates running. Back in your day, you guys would have gotten together and picked, it's your turn, you're next. Am I correct? At the Butler Street Y, you did.
That's exactly right. That's correct. In the 60s or the 50s, we had the Atlanta Negro Voters League. And the Atlanta Negro Voters League was made up of black Republicans and black Democrats, but black leaders who put the city first. And if 5 or 6 blacks were in a race running for a particular house seat or a seat on the city council, they would come to the Atlanta Negro Voters League and say, we need your help. We'll look at the whole number of them and say, here's the person that we're going to elect. Here's the person we're going to support. And 90% of the recommendations of the Atlanta Negro Voters League was accepted by black people in Atlanta. And we had a good city, and it moved off very well. It is my hope, and I was very glad to see that the preachers have come out and made a selection of the number of people who are running, from the number of people who are running, who they're going to support. I think that's very important.
Do people listen to endorsements now? Do they have the same punch and the same clout as they did back in your heyday?
I'm not so sure that it has, because the theory now is that, as I said, it's this old cliche, my way or the highway. It's going to be what I want, and I'm not concerned about the community as much as I'm concerned about my own, myself and my own objectives. Now that's unfortunate. We have to put the community first. That is a necessity. And William Home Borders, Daddy King, other great leaders would turn over now in their grave if they saw you got 10 people running for mayor, and the possibility that we will lose that seat. And that disturbs me a great deal.
Your thoughts on Cesar Mitchell? Is he your candidate? He'll be here a little later today. Former city council president. Seemed like he was in line. Others have lined up against him, though. Your thoughts on Cesar Mitchell?
I've looked at all the candidates who is now running, and without fear of contradiction, I believe Cesar Mitchell is the best qualified one to run. He knows how to administer the politics of the city. He's been president of the city council. He has a good record. He finished one of the best schools in the state and in the country. He's a graduate of Morehouse, but he is, in my judgment, the very best candidate for that job. Namely because, number one, he understands the emphasis, the difficulty in being the mayor, because he's been vice mayor, so to speak. He's president of the city council. And so if you just look at his background and look at what he's done, and then look at what he's advocating today, without any question, he is the best qualified among those who are now running to head this city for the next 4 years.
Senator, have you at all been concerned or disturbed that Mayor Reed has almost beat him up, is working hard against him, has talked down on him? Seems like they almost have a feud. Is that hurting the city's image, and has it damaged Cesar's campaign, you think?
Well, obviously, I think it has had its effect, and that's unfortunate. Both persons are good men. The mayor is a good person, former senator of the state of Georgia, and there's no question that Cesar is qualified. Unfortunate, they have different ideas, and as a result of that, they're on different sides. But you take the people who are now have announced that they are running, and those who have said, I might run, I thought I might run. When you look at that number, out of that number, Cesar Mitchell is the best qualified person to run. And he has an even temper, and he has the experience which is necessary for a mayor to be successful in this city.